Welcome back to the morning show on XL7 TV. It's This Week in Real Estate with Mr. Bob Zadora.
The Bob and Bob Show.
The Bob and Bob. The BRBZ.
What's going on?
You heard me earlier. It's been a long night.
That's a long way, Bob.
Well, it's not bad. I mean, mileage-wise, it's only like 90 miles. But the road you got to take to get there is,
Yeah.
it turns it into a
Yeah, we're
2 hour and
big
15-minute
highways.
drive if you drive fast.
Especially at night. But the deers are running around all over the place, and you got to be careful of them. And skunks, and there's all kinds of
And
things.
I don't care if
Critters
day or
laying
night.
on the
I
ground.
have no need for speed. I'm going to do the speed limit.
Well, good.
period.
That's good for you,
3 or 4 over.
especially with your copper son in the car with you.
Yeah, 3 or 4 over, that's probably the max, But
I'm good for about 5.
nice full moon, weather was nice, roads were good.
Yeah,
you know. Here we are. We're back.
And then you got a full night tonight.
We do have a full night tonight. We'll leave here about noon and travel south to Little Rock War Memorial Stadium. And that'll be fun as well. And how's your world?
Gil should pop for a hotel for the night. So you guys
I won't
could.
stay anyway. I got too much stuff to do. I have a full day tomorrow and a full day Sunday of on a zero turn or a bush hog.
Yeah, got to get the leaves all
Oh, no.
pulverized and stuff.
When it's 72 degrees on the 18th day of November, grass grows.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Yeah, it's grown 8 inches since the 20th day of October. 8 inches. So
I must have different grass.
this homeowner calls me from California and says, I've been looking at Google Earth and I think we need to mow the grass. I said, you realize those aren't current pictures. Oh, well, I had my uncle out there and he was standing in the driveway. It's pretty current.
Really? Wow. I'm kind of surprised.
So my guess is the uncle went out and said, well, this grass really looks like it could be cut, and called him.
Yeah, probably pretty close. Yeah, that's probably much closer. Much closer.
Yeah. How's the real estate world?
Good. Nice closing yesterday. Helped some people that had had a catastrophe in their home situation, and we helped get the insurance coordinated with the closing company and get the mortgage paid off, and just all the things that you got to do to get things done and to help people go on and move on with their life. It's tough enough when you have a tragedy like that,
Yeah.
and to be able to pick up the pieces and say, yeah, we're going to be okay. That's good. Other things of, just moving forward, messing with home inspectors and appraisals and the normal things that come and go. We had a client who had a appraisal done just to see what it was. And the appraisal, when we saw the appraisal, was like, this is like way off. The guy had it compared to homes. When we looked at it, it was like it should have been a home on the lake with a big pole barn and a dock, that type of, and it had none of that. It bordered the core. Okay, but that doesn't even mean you can see the lake. It's that kind of stuff. I don't know what they were thinking, because you can use those types of comps, but you got to deduct for the things that this property doesn't have.
Yeah.
So Linda and Darlene went out and explained the situation to the woman, and we switched the price around, and everybody's good, and we're going forward. That'll be popping up in a day or two, but it's, the appraisers, they don't work for you, they work for the bank.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're coming out and they're doing one just because you want to get one done, you're probably better to wait, have us come out first, take a look. If it's unless it's a unique property in some shape or form, and we've encouraged people, we've gone out on things and gone, I'm not really sure. Let's talk to somebody who sees more of these than we do, or they can cast a wider net, and they may take a house from Branson, they may take a house from Beaver Lake or something like that to try to fill in the money, how much it's worth. That's different. If it's a 3 bedrooms, 2 baths on 5 acres, we can give you a pretty good. Mm-hmm. We're going to be pretty good with where we say we should be, because the appraisers come out and they may not they either may not do a good job or just, doesn't always work out. I'll just do it that way. So if your realtor comes out and says, let's get an appraisal for this, then it's good advice. To get one and then expect the realtor to try to hit the number when
May not
we're
be
looking
so-
at different, we may be on two different pages. So,
The realtor can do a fair market value
right. And that's really what it is.
compared to comps of things that have actually sold within a certain time frame.
Yep.
In the certain area, narrow it down, you can get down to what happened in the same subdivision in the last year.
Because we've had people say, well, I've got an appraisal. Oh, okay. Well, what did they say? Well, I'm not going to tell you. Really? Let's all work together and try to get to where we are.
Yeah, this is your
Instead
home.
of me
You can
trying
price
to
it
get-
any way you want to.
Exactly. And we'll agree or disagree, and then we'll make our both of our business decisions based on that.
Mm-hmm.
That's the deal. And then because I don't want to be sitting there for a year. They say, well, how come you can take it for a year? Because it takes that long sometimes to get all the advertising and all that stuff out there. And you being mad at me all the time, how come I don't have any showings? How come I don't have any showings? Because you're too high.
Because you haven't priced it in the price point.
You
that
got to
people are
be
looking
where
for.
people are willing to pay for this type of property.
Speaking of which, is there any hope for the first-time home buyer?
The rates bumped again. I mean, they're up around 6.7, 6.8 again. It's tough right now. But we've had a couple houses. We got a house that came up yesterday, like 100 and I think we're around 150-ish. It'd be a nice first-time home buyer's house, but I think we're going to get slammed today with people that are representing investors that are looking to buy houses and turn them into rentals.
If you were to make any recommendations for that first-time home buyer, what would you tell them?
Well, I tell you, be ready. Have a brand new approval letter. Make sure your credit's right. Make sure you haven't. If you've done anything, go to your mortgage company or your bank. Make sure you've got that letter in your hand. Make sure you've got your finances ready, so you can get in and put that offer in. And be a little flexible. You're going to have to be a little flexible at that price point. You're not going to get granite and stainless, to 100.
It's a first home.
Yeah, it's exactly. I mean, and that's what you do. You buy that home, you build some equity in it, hold it for 6, 7, 8 years. Don't look at it that we're going to flip this in 2 years because there's no telling what the market's going to be. You're buying that home to live in it. First of all, it is an investment, but you're living in it. So you're getting part of your investment that's being returned is putting that roof over your head. Having the yard for the kids or the dog or whatever, or both, whatever the case may be. And to have that that's the pride in home ownership and owning that home. That's really the big deal. That's what it's about. You hold it for a while. You decide, okay, we're going to move. I get a different job. Whatever the case may be, we're going to have more kids, more dogs, cats. And then you start to look, but you've built equity in that house by holding it, and you've done repairs in it and fixed it up, so you're going to get some more money for it than you paid for it. Then you look on to the next one, and that's generally how it goes. We held our first house, though. We were in there for 20 years, pretty close, 20 years. And that was what we did. Put a dormer on the front. I knocked the walls out in the dining room, and it was just a little Cape Cod. I mean, this is a small house. But we adjusted to it, and we just kind of rolled with it. Put a big garage in the back and fixed up the yard and stuff like that. Historically, that's the way it's been. Or you buy that first house, you hold it for, like I say, 6, 7 years, see what the interest rates are, do your repairs, fix it up, make it for you. If you customize it too much, you're probably going to end up paying for that because you kind of want to think as you're doing things about the next guy.
Don't overbuild the market. Don't overbuild.
Don't right. And because we were in some houses on tour, and we were in the average house in that neighborhood is probably 200. And to go through the house and for what this guy wanted for this house and for what it was going to take to fix it up, to get it even close to that, you'd be at 300. Oh, nobody's going to do that. You got to. That's what you have. That's what you have realtors for, is to walk through them and say, with what it's going to take you to, what you're going to put into this, you don't want to be the most expensive house in the block, and you're going to be way over the most expensive house on the block. And those are the kind of things that we deal with all the time. And the same thing with the appraisers. Like I said, they work for the banks. That's the biggest thing right now that we're going for. People don't understand it. They think that, well, I'm paying for that appraisal. You know, the bank's charging me. When you're the buyer, the bank's charging me for that. He's still not working for you. His client is the bank. The bank is going to give you a copy of that, and you're going to pay for it. But the bank is there. The bank is there to protect their money. That's understandable. It's a business deal.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely. What do you got on your paper there that you brought with this?
well, it's just, that's what it is. It's notes about appraisals and things like that, and how, what you can do to help the appraiser, point out, well, we just got this new roof in 2022. We redid the heating air in 23. We redid all the gardening. There's a lot of things that are, that won't count, but it just kind of adds to the saleability of the home. And I think that's something that people, I went into a house on a listing appointment, and the guy brought me into his closet, and there was a shelf inside the closet. I put that shelf there. Like, that was really, oh, that's nice. That didn't last too long.
Let's take a look at your
But they,
numbers.
they just have an unreal expectations of what the work they put into it.
Yeah.
Actually, it is. Most of it,
And work you do yourself don't count anyway, most of the time.
most of the time. You're right. You're right. This week in real estate, there were 37 new listings came on the market, a commercial property, 13 parcels of land, 23 homes came on the market. They ranged in price from $139,000 to $850,000, and 3 of them are taking backups. There were 42 sales, a commercial property, 9 parcels of land, 32 homes sold. They ranged in price from $52,000 to $575,000. The average sale price this week was $255,000, with 88 days on market. 15 properties expired. There were 29 residential price changes. Currently, we have 370 homes on the MLS that you can just walk in and buy. Year to date, for 2024, there's been 1,005 homes have sold. Average sale price of $241,000 with 90 days on market. For 2023, there had been 999 homes that sold. 86 days on market. The average sale price last year was $228,000. For 2022, 1,091 homes sold, 79 days on market with an average sale price of $222,000. In 2021, 1,180 homes sold, average sale price was $200,000. In 2020, there was 1,137 homes that sold, with an average sale price of $170,000. In 2019, just before COVID, there was 1,037 homes sold, with an average sale price of $149,000. So it gives you kind of an idea of where we've gone. The big 21, 22, 20 during COVID, and everybody trying to get out, and the economy was kind of sliding down a little bit. They cut the interest rates, and that allowed people to buy. That's what pushed the prices up, because of the supply and the demand. And that's where we are now. But still, the average sale price is $241,000.
Crazy.
It's kind of sometimes, sometimes you go in and you go,
Yeah, maybe not.
yeah, maybe,
How they
Anyway,
get you?
Don't get me. Call my honey. She's at 870-405-0793. Check out the website, retiredarkansas.net. We see that every week. And we're here. We're here to help you out. There isn't a whole lot that we haven't seen. We've been doing this for a little over 17 years now. And we've helped a lot of people, and that's really always been the mission. The power of one, the commercial that we do, that's what it is. It's one client at a time, and just kind of work our way, help them get to where they want to be, right home for the right time of your life. But call Linda, 870-405-0793, and go Bombers.
It's been This Week in Real Estate with Bob Zadora. 870-405-0793 is our phone number. Retiredarkansas.net is our website. We'll be back Football Friday in just a minute.